Recorded at Drake Media Studios in New York. Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. Empowering your passion with purpose. This is the show where we bring you inspiring stories, practical advice, and actionable insights to help you turn your passion into a reality. Each episode, we sit down with incredible guests who share their journeys, their challenges, and their triumphs, so you can gain the tools and motivation to take the next step in your own journey. Whether you're looking to spark a new idea, find clarity on your path, or learn from life-changing success stories, you're in the right place. So grab a notebook, settle in, and get ready to be inspired. Let's turn passion into purpose together. Here's your host, Verdel Jones.
Today's episode is brought to you by Share, Inform, Enlighten, which empowers individuals and communities through diverse perspectives, literacy promotion, and essential resources. From thought-provoking discussions to life-changing workshops and scholarships, we inspire growth, creativity, and connection. Join us in making a difference, one story, one skill, one step at a time. To learn more, visit our website at shareinformenlighten.org. Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. We are about empowering your passion with purpose, turning your passion into action, and living with intention and making an impact. I'm your host, Verdel Jones. Let's get started. So today's guest is Elliot Allen, also known as the Mental Conditioning Trainer. He is the founder of the Mental Conditioning Movement and Mental Conditioning Gym. And Elliot was on our show before, so
yes.
Thank you so much for being a guest again on Conversations with Verdel Jones.
Yes, I'm excited to be back. This has always been a great experience to work with you.
Thank you. So this is the updated version
yes.
of Conversations
yes.
with Verdel Jones.
Yes.
So let's get right into it. You have built the mental conditioning movement to help people strengthen their minds like a muscle. Mm-hmm. Can you explain what mental conditioning is and why it's so important in today's society?
Sure. So there's good news and there's bad news.
Okay.
I'll start off with the good news. The good news is that, listen, we live in a society today where mindset is something that everybody knows. This is good. Mm-hmm. 30 years ago, people not really understanding about mindset. But now we live in a society where everybody knows that. Now we got to get to the not so great news. Mm-hmm. Very few people really understand. Capital, understand where our mindset takes us. Very few people understand that where you're sitting right now, where I'm sitting right now, that has everything to do with our mindsets. But we must, this is important, we have to train for that. And ultimately, we have to train for clarity. I watched the Verdel Jones show, and I know that a lot of people come on here with adversity, and they give you solutions. But those solutions are imperative that you have to train your mind for clarity, that as you're going through adversity, how do you do that? Mm-hmm. How do you go through adversity and still say, I'm focused? That takes training.
Absolutely.
You just can't wake up and automatically be able to go through challenges. We all are going through challenges. I'm sure you're going through challenges. I know I got a heck of a lot of challenges on the table right now, but guess what? I showed up here today, and then I'm excited to be able to do that. But that takes mental training, hence what I call mental conditioning. It's not easy, but you have to work extremely hard. Just like working our physical muscles, we have to train our minds.
So you're training the mind.
Absolutely.
And it's that repetitiveness. I know we've had conversations before, and it's about just doing it over and over again to build up that stamina. It's like when you take a test, you have stamina to take a long test, and you have to practice that. So.
And it's boring.
And it is so boring.
Let's be honest.
But this is what you have to do if you want to be successful in
yes.
that. So you've also created the mental conditioning gym.
Yes.
A physical space.
Yes.
Right? So how does that space help people develop the mindset that you were talking about? And what can someone expect when they step inside the gym? Mm-hmm.
So you just talked about that training. We need to have a space and a place to go to where we can just kind of sit back, analyze what we have on the table. In our gym, we train off of 4 principles. This is very important here. I want everybody, if you don't hear anything, I want you to hear this. The 4 principles that we train off of is going to be big picture, self-evaluation, stay in the course. These are very, very important. Do you have your self-evaluation? Can you make decisions? What's your big picture? And can you stay the course? Those are the 4 principles that we train off of in the gym. Because oftentimes when I get questions about the gym, when people come to train with me, it's not Elliot Allen. Of course I have my opinions, but we have to stick to those 4 principles. Remember I told you about adversity. The first thing that goes with adversity is our self-evaluation. I got knocked off the track. Who are you? The only way that you can proceed forward is to remember who you are. Watch how it's going to match up. Now I have to make decisions. If I don't know who I am, how can I make the prudent decisions? I'm going to take it one more step. We have a big picture. It takes time. Just did a message this week. It takes time to develop a big picture. We have children, and we try to guide our children. One of the things you want to give your children is, what's your big picture? What's the first thing we ask our little kids? What do you want to be when you grow up? That's a very serious question.
Yeah.
Because we have to guide them to really understand what's their big picture. Because what's the natural? I want to be a doctor. You take that first class and they say, oh, just do some chemistry. And the kid go, that's it.
Yeah,
right?
Doctor no more. Right.
So guess what you can't do? That's the 4th principle. You cannot stay the course. All falls in line.
Right.
But if you're able to understand those 4 principles and you can train on that, it's very, very, very difficult. But that's where you need a place and a space. That's why we have the mental conditioning gym. But also tell people the mental conditioning gym can actually be anywhere. It can be your shower. It can be while you're driving in the car. Because life is always happening.
Right.
When you walk outside, get out of the studio, whatever else is going on in your life, it starts. But you have a space and a place where you say, hold on a second. Who am I? I got to make this decision. If we don't have that space and a place, once again, that's the understanding about what is mental conditioning. It's a very important piece for us to train on, and repetitively, as you said, over and over and over and over again. Yes, it is boring, but the people who have the best muscles, who can build the best muscles, are those of us that can have the repetitive, constant, I gotta go over that again. You will never, ever master self-evaluation. Because the minute you think you do, you get hit in the face.
I think to me, in that self-evaluation sometimes can be one of the hardest ones. It's you have to challenge yourself, and if you don't know how to even challenge yourself, you'll never know, and you won't get the honest information that you need.
That's the most powerful word that's going to come out of everything that we said.
Right.
It's honest self-evaluation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that because we want to always think sometimes a fantasy world. I can do that.
Yeah.
People tell me this all the time. Sometimes if people ask me, I don't swim, and I'm afraid of water. And people say, you teach mental conditioning, how are you afraid of water? But I can tell you, I'm very honest. That's something that I don't do.
Right, yeah.
Can I make the adjustment now to make sure if I'm gonna go swimming and my kids are there, can you swim? You need to come with me in case something happens. But that's my adjustment that I have to make for my self-evaluation. It's very important.
Absolutely. So you're also an author. You have 2 books, but in your newest book, 12 Rounds of Mental Conditioning, Us versus Life, The Big Fight, compares life's challenges to a boxing match.
Wow.
What inspired you to write it, and what is one key takeaway that readers can apply in their everyday lives?
So I am a huge boxing junkie, and I'm going to tell you this quick story. This is important. I come from a family background. A lot of what I do, I believe, is driven by family. I think that's one of the things in society that we have to work on. This tremendous foundation of family. And somebody asked me the question one day, said, where did this book come from? I was very close with my dad, who has passed away. And my dad and I talked about sports a lot. So much so that my mother would say, can you stop talking about sports? But what I didn't realize until probably 3 months ago. My dad wrote that book because even though we were talking about sports, he was teaching me about life.
Yeah.
And through life analogies, he showed me through sports. So hence, that's where the book came from. So I love boxing, and when you watch a boxing match, even if you're not a big boxing fan, everybody has seen a boxing match. The things that a fighter goes through within the 12 rounds of boxing, you get punched, you punch somebody, you get cut, you cut somebody. How do you keep driving? I use that word adversity. What happens when you get hurt in the ring?
Right.
What happens? How can you make adjustments? You asked me about my book and what can you learn from that. One of my favorite chapters in the book is called Learning During the Fight. We reference Muhammad Ali fighting George Foreman. That's one of the most famous fights in 1974 they fought. And Muhammad Ali came out the first round and he was dominant. And we went back to the corner, everybody was saying, you got him. But he said, I don't got him. Because every time I move 4 steps, he's only moving 1. And this boy is 7 years younger than me. I ain't gonna make it.
Right.
I have to learn during the fight. So now what did he do? When the next round come out, he put his hands up like this and let George Foreman just keep punching. Bop, 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 bop. What, are you crazy? But he learned during the fight, I gotta take the energy from him. This is what we have to do in our lives. We have to make adjustments, even when Verdel say, you're doing real good. In my mind, no, I'm not. How do you make those adjustments during the fight? Because life never stops.
No.
I wish, well, hold on a second.
Yeah, wait.
Let's wait.
On, right.
No,
it doesn't work like that.
Life is constantly keeps going. Can you make the adjustments while life is going on? I saw you had a guest on here previously talked about sex trafficking. That's powerful.
Yeah.
How are these people continuing to adjust to life? That's at the highest level.
Right.
But it takes mental conditioning to be able to say, you know what? I've lost clarity. Somebody has taken everything from me and my body.
Right.
How can you recover from that? That's not physical.
Right. No, it is not.
Mentally, you have to be able to dig deep down and say, how do I find the clarity? I don't know the answer to something like that.
Something like that.
But that's something that we have to be. That's how powerful the mind is, that you can recover from that mentally and be able to move on and say, I'm going to help you out.
Right. How can, so you mentioned the previous guest we had on that talked about the sex trafficking. How do you begin to give people or to help people train to overcome those challenges and build a stronger, more resilient mindset?
We're going to go back to what you said to me a few minutes ago. It's honest self-evaluation. When something like that happens to you, you're not the same.
Right.
If you try to navigate life as if you're the same, we're in trouble.
Right.
Boxing analogy. When you get hit and you get hurt, you must admit, I'm hurt right now. If you ask me what my name is, I have no idea. That's how hurt I am. And I have to act accordingly. Same thing, no matter what the circumstances are, we must first have a strong, solid self-evaluation. Now from here, I can make decisions. You know what? Something bad happened to me when I walked down this street. I will never be able to walk down this street again because something physically happened to me. Sensei was on, he talked about that. I have to make that adjustment. What's my big picture now? My big picture is no longer the same.
Right.
Now my big picture is I'm passionate about helping people that were a victim as I was. Can I stay the course? Yes.
Okay.
Because I am driven by a brand new big picture. And I can make the decisions to keep going and going and going. But that pain never goes away of something like that. I do like to use examples like that because that shows how importantly strong our mind is, but you must train for that. You can't do it without training.
Without training.
Yes, ma'am.
So if someone is out there ready to begin their mental conditioning journey, how can they reach out to you and set up a consultation with you?
Well, first we have our social media handles, which is Mental Conditioning Movement. That's on Instagram and on Facebook. We also have our website, which is www.mentalconditioningmovement.com. From there, you will be able to sign up to come to the gym. We have multiple events that we're doing. different training camps that we do, and different couples events that we do, all having to do with the mind and getting into the right mindset to match up your passion and match up your clarity to be able to move forward. But that's how you get in touch with me.
All right. Thank you so much, Elliot.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Always a pleasure.
Always.
We could do this all night.
That's right. Thank you so much for being here.
No problem. No problem.
Right. Thank you so much for tuning in to Conversations with Verdel Jones, empowering your passion with purpose. I hope today's conversation left you inspired, informed, and ready to take action. If today's episode sparked something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, pass it on, and keep the cycle of learning and growing alive. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share so you will never miss an episode. And remember, in the words of Maya Angelou, when you learn, teach, and when you get, give. See you next time.
Thank you for joining us on Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. We hope you found today's discussion insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform and leave us a review. It helps others discover the show.